set the bar so high. And it was that moment I kind of thought, this is the point. Welcome guys to the Rize. Welcome guys to the new series called the Rize. I'm going to be taking you all on a journey as progression as a bodybuilder and also progression as a prep coach. One thing I've noticed from consulting with so many different coaches and people that are at the top of the industry is it's awesome to see where they're at now, but you never really get to see the full journey of where they started, the small regional shows that they did. And after establishing this as my passion for 2 seasons now, one thing that I thought would be really cool to do alongside the show days is to take you all on a journey of my progression from now up until wherever we end up as a prep coach. So welcome to the new series. You're going to be seeing a load of different things on this channel, everything from training with clients, again, my own personal bodybuilding progression, check-ins, training videos, meal prep, literally everything that you need to see in the life of a bodybuilder and the life of a prep coach. If anyone's also got any suggestions of any videos that they personally want to see, pop them in the comments and we'll go from there. So what you're going to see with the Rize is weekly videos covering all different subjects. So again, everything from my personal journey as a bodybuilder, personal progression as a prep coach, everything from education, routine, mindset, literally giving you a toolbox of things to apply to your day-to-day life, whether you're a bodybuilder, coach, or wanting to become a coach in the future. This series is going to arm you with everything that you need to be a part of that journey with me and also apply things to your day-to-day life. So after coaching for around 2.5 years now, I can confidently say this is definitely something I'm going to do for the foreseeable. And I live and have made my whole life around bodybuilding and prep coaching now. So again, I want to give you guys a full transparent insight to the highs, the lows, the show days where we take the wins, the potential pro card at Milan this year, and again, just the whole progression from start to finish. So on the first video today, I'm going to be covering a little bit about my journey where I started with coaching and where we are now, and also where we're at within bodybuilding in terms of off-season mini cuts and all things like that. So where we're at right now, we just finished up, we'll finish up the end of this week, 10-week mini cut, ready for a push-up. I put my cycle back in on Monday, so we're looking at kind of around 3 weeks until things really start kicking off, and then like the official off-season starts. So we're going to look to push around 20 weeks, and I am self-coaching now. Another reason that I wanted to do this, without going off on too much of a tangent, is I've found personally that I'm way more switched on and intuitive with all the feedback that I need to take into account when I'm personally coaching myself, as I find that not only do I want to learn more, having to take accountability for absolutely everything that I do is giving me that mindset where I really have to think into things a little bit more. So self-coaching for this push-up to see how it goes. And what I wanted to personally do was just consult with different people, different moments in time to just get second opinions, to kind of try on my own process. And I think this is something that's so important as a coach, is trying so many different things and methods so that you can again apply that to your clients and again use yourself as that guinea pig to see how things go. So I'm going to be trying different things for this push up, aiming for around 20 weeks total to see how we get on. Not too fussed about body weight. I think I've definitely in the past got way too caught up on fixating on a number, and it's just meant we've pushed too quickly for certain areas, whether that's getting too strong too quick, getting too fat too quick, which again isn't conducive towards the end goal of bodybuilding. So a lot slower this time round, literally using biofeedback for everything change related to see how we get on from there. But going to keep you guys posted with the first set of check-in pictures that I do this Saturday coming. And that's going to be the starting point for the 18 to 20 week push-up. Going to be sharing bloods midway through as something that I also want to highlight is not just bloods when you're in a health phase, it's bloods when you're on cycle. So you can kind of see what's being skewed, because you never really know in a health phase if we're running physiological doses, what's going to be skewed. So it'd be a really good insight to run bloods midway through to see where we're at, and then any changes that we need to implement to keep things all sweet. So 20-week push-up starts as of next Monday. But for now, that's the rundown on me. In terms of coaching, we're sitting at the minute with, I want to say 18 shows left of this season. We've had, I think it's 6 or 7 done so far with a brilliant result. What I'll do is I'll put a screenshot on right now of how things have looked this season with a bunch of little screenshots and pictures. But an incredible first run so far. We've got Adriana, Dimitra, Imogen, Jolie, Tom, and I'm missing one, Storm, to do the rest of this season. So we've got a real good lineup of incredible athletes, which I'm excited to put on the stage. Some first timers, some not. And again, it's going to be awesome to document them show days and take you guys all along that journey. So my ethos as a coach is not only to get incredible results for the athletes that I work with, but it's also to have an impact. I'm a massive believer that a prep is a process that isn't just based on the physical transformation that you go through, but the experience, mental fortitude that you build throughout that journey. So again, after doing this process for 2 years now, I've learned that the impact that you can have by giving someone a perfect prep process, not only through the physical changes, but the experience that you can give them through that is genuinely game changing. So it's something that I put massive pride on as myself as a coach, is being able to give every person that I work with a completely different prep experience, one that they enjoy thoroughly, and second, I enjoy being a part of as well, to make that whole journey of stepping on stage more than just a result or more than just getting in shape. So after doing my prep last year, I can honestly say it was one of the sickest experiences. Yeah, it was challenging, but like everything, the more you put in, the more you get out. And also the harder the challenge, the more rewarding it is once you get through it. And again, I was able to go through that first prep, experiencing like so many different emotions, feelings and experiences of that process. I went from not placing at the first one, so I was able to get a full whirl of emotions from that, to then placing first in the second one. So again, from getting either ends of the spectrum, I was able to take so much from that experience and not only apply that to my clients, but also take so much from that experience in terms of the wins, the losses, to again further my progression as a bodybuilder. So I think next time we're looking at stepping on stage is going to be 2026 potentially. But again, this is all part of this series to document things as we go. If I end up making more progress than I imagined, we'll likely do a prep earlier. But again, I can't see any reason why I can't be a successful prep coach and also a bodybuilder myself, as long as I'm on it with everything. And that's also part of this series to again show you that you can juggle both, and that if you love one process, you can also interlink that with something else. So that's it from me, guys. Enjoy the first episode. Let's go. Now, I thought it'd be really good to cover on this one just a little bit of background for anybody that doesn't know about me or where I started to where we are today. So I'd say around 2.5 years ago is probably when I set up my first online coaching business. Now, obviously that was Dan, and we set that up under Team DC, which was Team Dan and Cal. And that was like the start of coaching, basically. And I done that alongside my normal 9 till 5, which was an office job, and literally built everything around that. So it was a case of working early in the mornings, working after, and predominantly scheduling check-ins in at the weekend. And I always get a load of questions on like, how did I get my first few clients? So I thought that'd be an interesting one to share. I got my first few clients from actually that workplace, funny enough. And it was, I want to say 3 guys that had obviously watched me bring in my meal prep for 2 years, train every day after work. So from their perspective, they obviously saw me, as you say, walking the walk, and wanted a little bit of help in their lives with just obviously meal prep training and things. And that kind of worked out perfectly with launching that to then getting a bit of an experience as a coach. So I took on them 3 guys for free, and all of them done incredibly well. I think Tony lost 5 stone. The other guy I worked with, Adam, I think he done a lean gaining phase with me and gained around 10 pounds and looked awesome at the end of it. And that was a door, so BRB. Right. Coaching Delivery 101. So as you all know, I've been a natural athlete now for probably 6 years. Where was we before we left off? So yeah, Tony, Adam, and then Adam's missus at the time, who again I think lost 12 to 13 pounds in that first diet we done. And I think it was at that point, one of 2 things happened. One, I realised without any financial gain, the fulfillment that you get from like sharing your values around just training, nutrition and mindset towards being a better version of yourself was such a rewarding feeling. And it was that moment I kind of thought, if I can charge for this, make a living, that really does combine the perfect recipe of like passion and work ethic, because if you enjoy something, you're going to want to do it more. So it kind of at that point really sparked a little bit of excitement just around what could be done. And I think being in a position with my own bodybuilding journey at that time, where I was dieting, I had that time where I wanted to focus on something else alongside it, because anybody knows that's dieting themselves, you have more focus and you have more areas that you want to give attention to when you're not going out to do kind of normal things that you would in a gaining phase. So taking on them 3 clients for free, again, really sparked everything and kind of got the ball rolling, so to speak, with the coaching. And then from there, everything just kind of really took off. Started training at a factory gym, and literally through word of mouth, working with more and more people, giving them that kind of next level of time and attention, because that's what I enjoyed as a coach. Really kind of like, again, snowball effect, and just built an incredible foundation for business. And it was at that point we rebranded to Precision. Again, everything kind of just compounded from there. And then met obviously Paige in the gym, who won my giveaway for coaching. She was my first prep client. Along come Adriana after that. I was doing my prep as well. And lo and behold, again, everything just kept snowballing and going from there. And I think the biggest lessons anyone can take from this is go with your intuition, what feels right and what feels like it's fulfilling you alongside helping other people is a perfect recipe for you to push that and really kind of see where you can go for it. I think, again, having my own journey alongside that I loved training, loved nutrition, made that process so much easier because I didn't necessarily have to learn loads. I hadn't studied a load, I hadn't paid for too many courses on mentorships. I literally just learned through experience and learned through what I'd done with myself. And that paved a really good platform for just working with more people and sharing them experiences. So that's how briefly we started on coaching. And here we are today with a total of 23 people on stage for my second season, which is crazy. And the passion and love just keeps growing and growing for it. And like I said a minute ago, when you combine what you love to do and, yeah, like people say, what doesn't feel like, how does it go? And these snippets I'm going to keep in, by the way, because I want to show transparency. And again, I make mistakes, and talking on camera is something I want to get better at. So keeping these in. But yeah, so as they say with a quote, maybe you have to help me with this one. What is it? It's what you love doing doesn't feel like work. That's it, yeah. If you do what you love, you're never working a day in your life. So if you combine a raw passion with something, with a good work ethic, it's a perfect recipe for success. So that's where we're at with the coaching. Now, moving on to bodybuilding. And this is funny, I always speak to people about this. The more you go through bodybuilding and the years and years you do, you always think, last year I didn't take it seriously. This year I took it seriously. And the more and more years you go through, that becomes so true. So I can't even pinpoint when I officially started training, but I want to say around 15 to 16. And at that point, it was very much just want to lose a little bit of weight, want to get a little bit fitter, and then you go through that process of seeing yourself change, falling in love with the process of lifting more, being better, and then the bodybuilding journey stemmed from there. Started watching more and more people prep on YouTube. The funny thing is at this time, the only two people I used to watch was Sammy, who I now pose with, and John Lofthouse at the time, as they'd done their own prep series. So that was really inspiring to watch, and they were obviously local guys, so it was a bit of it felt more real to know that there was people local doing it. But apart from that, the passion for bodybuilding just stemmed from there. More and more growing phases, more and more dieting phases. Every one you go through, you get better and better. And then it was in 2023, I decided to do a mock prep. And that's where I thought, okay, if competing is something I want to do, let's test the waters, let's go in for this. Dieted down naturally as well for that, and got in incredible shape, and I'll pop some pictures up there for that. And honestly, I think after that mock prep, everything changed mindset-wise. I genuinely found, it's going to sound really weird, but I'd say I found myself in that diet, in that I loved looking for areas of progression and loved really kind of trying to be better in all areas of life. As again, I do think your mindset changes in deep dieting phases when you're, let's say, hungry, deprived. I think you're more open to suggestion with different things. And again, after that mock prep, and that's to say when I launched Team DC with Dan, and the passion for bodybuilding was just crazy at that time. Read my first two bodybuilding books, which I recommend to anyone, which one was Be Your Own Bodybuilding Coach by Dr. Scott Stevenson, and Fortitude Training, which was also really good, by the same author. And again, at that point, it was like, okay, we're prepping, let's on. One more growing phase after that, assisted, and that's when obviously we made that transition. Had a really good push up with my first coach, Dan Bastick, and then decided to prep after that under Ali's guidance. And then again, went through that prep, loved every second of it. Again, it was a little bit challenging, but I think from what stemmed as an initial idea of being a bodybuilder came true. What stemmed initially from helping a few people at work, turning into a thriving business became true. And again, that's another reason that this series is going to be so important to take you guys on, because I think the confidence I've been able to build in myself, in not just what I can do, but the vision that I have for myself, is going to be awesome to take you guys on that journey and show you again the progression from where we are now to where we end up in 3-4 years' time. Thanks for watching. Oh, like, comment, subscribe.